honestly, just great. Like, honestly, 5 stars all around. And the yarn I chose to do this in, I think this movie is, to me, it gets 3 stars. And I can say with all passion in me, I do not like knitting flat. I did it as the accent is called Holly Berry. And I honestly have not put my knitting needles down since. Welcome to my inaugural knitting podcast video. Let's get introductions out of the way. If this is your first time seeing my face, hi, hello, I am Krystal Aliyah. I'm a girl who enjoys any and just about all crafts and DIYs. I'm just all over the board, love them all. Can't really narrow me down to one thing. I'm one of those people, I jump from thing to thing to thing. But for context, I did begin crocheting and I've kind of transitioned over to knitting, hence the topic of this podcast. I will be knitting during this podcast, so I encourage you to grab your project, a snack, a drink, anything like that, get comfy and cozy, and let's chat and craft together. I'm working on the porcelain sweater by 𝙺𝚗𝚒𝚝𝚗𝚝, so if you see me looking down, I am still focused on you guys in the podcast, but I'm also trying to knit. I haven't really mastered the knitting without looking. I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I have to kind of see the stitches as I go just to make sure everything is good. I'll talk more about this later in the video. Let's go ahead and get the housekeeping things out of the way first. So let's talk about the layout of the podcast and schedule, things like that. Typical knitting podcasts that I watch, they are usually like 40 minutes to sometimes even an hour, hour and a half long. And they're posted about once, maybe twice a month. So I'm gonna put a spin on that. I'm actually gonna post a podcast once a week on Wednesdays. And because they're being posted once a week, I'm gonna try to keep the time down so they won't be nowhere near as lengthy as that is. But there's still gonna be a lot of good things in each episode, so definitely stay tuned. Excuse the lighting, it's been a little wishy-washy today. The sun will come out, the clouds will come back. It's just a back and forth. Back to what I was saying, I started posting Whip Wednesday videos on Instagram and TikTok 4 months ago, back in August of 2025. And it was so much fun. I really like doing it. I still like doing it, but I just noticed my videos are like kind of long. They're like 4 to 7 minutes long. Some have even been like 10 minutes long. And I don't think that that's okay. Over here on YouTube, 7 to 10 minutes isn't really that long, but on a short form platform like TikTok and Instagram, that is really long. So that kind of sparked the idea of me making this podcast series over here on YouTube. Here's a layout of the podcast. We'll start off with a quick check-in so we can chat about things we want to discuss, any topics of that week, and anything going on lately, maybe something personal or project related. Next will be finished objects. After that will be current works in progress. Follow that up with any acquisitions of the week. Next will be movie and show recommendations that I have. And to finish us off will be highlight patterns of the week. It'll be about 2 or 3 patterns that I just want to shine a little bit of light on, or that I think are interesting and I want to see people make that I probably won't have time to make myself. And the last housekeeping thing, there are 2 specialty videos, I should say episodes, each month. That being the first episode of the month and the last episode of the month. The first episode of each month, I'll be listing all the patterns and projects that I would like to accomplish within that month. If I can't finish it, I will at least cast it on and get about 50-ish% done with it. That way, if I carry it into the next month, I can at least try to finish it before the end of that next month, if that makes sense. And the last episode of each month will be a little extra special and fun because I'll be doing something additional in that video as well. I won't tell you what it is just yet. I will drop hints leading up to it, but I will reveal what that is in the last video of January, so stay tuned for that. I would say subscribe to the channel so you can get notified when I post, so you don't miss it. Now that that is out of the way, let's go ahead and kick off with a little bit of background info or a little bit of lore on my knitting journey and how I ended up over here on this side of YouTube. Originally, I learned how to crochet first back in high school. I believe it was either my junior or senior year, and it was just a random moment. A few of my classmates were hanging out in a classroom after school. I walked by, saw them, and I was like, oh, what are you doing? They said crochet. They taught me how to crochet. They gave me hooks and yarn. They even, took the time to teach me, even though I didn't get it the first few times. We would just meet up and hang out, It was so unofficial, like there was no club or anything. It was just a group of us choosing to meet up and have a good time. And just a huge thank you to the teacher who let us use her room for most of those meetups. She was probably tired and exhausted from the full day of teaching high schoolers, then to turn around and open up her classroom in her sacred little quiet space to a couple of girls talking and playing music and crocheting. It was such a nice thing for her to do. Fast forward like 10 years later, December of 2024, I picked the crochet hook back up and I started crocheting again just for a little bit of peace of mind and a little bit of stability, because I was in a place where I was dealing with a lot of grief and stress and anxiety, and I didn't know what to do with a lot of that. So I started crocheting, just something to keep my hands busy, and it turned into this. January of 2025, I started posting on TikTok and Instagram about my crochet things. I didn't expect people to be interested in it, I'm gonna be honest, but people really enjoyed it, especially on TikTok. That's where I get the most love. So if you ever want to like see most of my stuff or keep up with me kind of daily/weekly, go to TikTok. It felt really good to get positive feedback about something like that. So it definitely encouraged me to bring it over here on YouTube. So for those who have been on my channel for a while, I know I've gone through like 3 or 4 different phases of categories or niches of what I post, but all together it's really me. Like that's who I am. I bounce from thing to thing. I don't stay in the same category for too long. I don't know why. My brain likes change. I love learning new things. So except for the knitting podcast, like I seriously want to stick with this so bad. Like I have so many ideas and so many like I can see it all. I can see it all and I want it all to come true. So I'm going to stick with it. Okay, finishing up the lore. So I started posting a little bit on YouTube as well of my crochet journey and things like that. And obviously I'm seeing it on my feed day in, day out. And eventually knitting comes across my FYP. So then I start seeing knitting content and that inspires me to try it even more. So I finally decided I'm going to teach myself how to knit. Shout out YouTube University. I learned how to knit in like maybe 30 minutes. It was pretty crazy, honestly, but I accredit all that to my crochet background. That's really what it was. I believe that was in April. It was like a random like Tuesday or Wednesday. I just was like, let's look up a how to knit video. So I did, and I made like these cute little gauge swatches, or honestly, they were just like little squares. These are the cute little squares I was just talking about. I actually still have them. So this one is stockinette flat. And then as you can see, this one is garter stitch. And I didn't do anything else for almost like 2 or 3 months. I think it was June I picked the needles back up and I made my first project ever. It was like a little neck scarf. I got a video tutorial off of YouTube and I had some yarn sitting around. So I just made it just to make it, not like I wanted it. I just wanted to actually follow a pattern and follow the steps. And that was the first thing I did. And it was actually really nice. It was a quick little like, 2-3 day project. And then of course, by the time I finished that, I was obsessed with knitting. So I had so many projects lined up and so many things I wanted to do. And I honestly have not put my knitting needles down since. That is a perfect transition to our segment for finished objects. So sorry for the like position or angle change. I literally almost forgot to give my dog his medicine. So I had to go run and do that, but I'm back. So now we are going to segue over into talking about finished objects. The blouse I'm wearing right now. This is called the Bad Idea Blouse by Lacey Williamson. I adore her. She has so many great patterns I have saved on Ravelry, sweaters and just blouses. Like I think this pattern is actually free. I love it so much. Like I had such a good time. I learned how to do German short rows. Like honestly, 5 stars all around. And the yarn I chose to do this in is Ruby and Roses yarn. This color is called Ice Queen and the yarn base is Fragrant Rose. It has 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, and 80% superwash merino. And when I tell you it feels so good, like I don't want to take this off. Like this feels so good. I don't feel hot. I don't feel cold. And I don't know, like I just feel great in it and I love it so much. Like it's worth the money. It's worth the money. I know you're thinking hand dye yarn. that's going to be pricey, and it is, but to me, this was so worth it. I am wearing it backwards because I don't care for the neckline. It just is too wide for me. I don't know, I like things either like right here at my neck or like a little bit of a V neck. I just don't like things that are like way out here. Like that's just, to me, that's too much. So there is that. But other than that, I absolutely love it, especially the sleeves. Love a cute little bell sleeve moment. And the next thing I knit was actually Christmas gifts for my boyfriend's dad and his grandfather. There were 2 knit beanies. I did these in Lion Brand Wool Ease DK weight. The blue color is navy and the gray color is slate. And for his mom, I made her a Sophie hood by Petite Knit. It's such an infamous pattern. Everybody's made it at least once or at least heard of it. And so I was like, that'll be a good project for me to do. 1, as a beginning knitter, and 2, I feel like she would actually enjoy it. Something that would keep her head and her neck and like her ears and everything warm. And she didn't have to have like a hat and a scarf to like keep up with 2 things. It's all in one. So I knit that in the color Eggplant in the Wool Ease DK weight yarn. I didn't have enough yarn to finish when I was on the second way down. So like you start on one corner of the scarf and you go up, you do the head part for the hood, and then you come down on the other side and do the second part of the scarf. I ran out of yarn on that second part. So this bottom corner of the scarf is a completely different color. It's like a cream tweed yarn, and it gives it a little character, I will say. It makes it pop a little bit, but I don't know. Like, part of me is like, you gotta fix that. And then the other part of me is like, well, she likes it, so maybe just keep it. I probably won't fix it because she does like it, so I'll just have to live with what I've done. Now let's talk about our whips. As you know, I am knitting the porcelain sweater right now during this video. This is a pattern by Les Knit. This is a drop shoulder sweater, my first drop shoulder, by the way. And I can say with all passion in me, I do not like knitting flat. I am more of a knit in the round kind of person. So this has definitely been a huge accomplishment for me. I cast it on, I want to say, a day or 2 before the end of the year. So it was either December 30th or December 29th. I cast it on for this. I've been working on it ever since. So today officially makes a little over a week of me knitting this, and I just connected in the round yesterday, and I'm working on my next color chart, and it's in the body. We're finally in the round, so I'm feeling so good and so confident about that. The yarn I'm using is 𝙺𝚗𝚒𝚝𝚝. I've seen a lot of other people say that they knit their porcelain sweater in this. Some people said they did theirs in Charisma and the Kids Silk mohair, which is a really cool idea. I would like to eventually do a sweater holding some kind of mohair, but I just was not in the mood for it right now. I was like, I want to actually make a sweater and finish, because I've casted on for at least 4 different sweaters and none of them have been finished. So I was like, this has to be done. So I wanted to keep it simple as possible. This color right here is called Chalk, and I cannot remember what the name of this green color is. I think it's Sage. Could be wrong. I got this yarn from Lind Hobby for Black Friday, and I had it under the tree. This was like a Christmas present to myself, was the porcelain sweater. My next work in progress is a test knit sweater. This is the Barn Raglan by Miranda's Knits. I call it a test knit because I was a test knitter for this pattern, but as of January 2nd, this is now officially a released pattern. So I can't technically call it a test knit anymore. I did not get as far as I needed to. So what happened was the yarn that I'm using for the main body color, I didn't buy enough of. And then when I tried to go back a week later and buy some more, when I finally realized it, Knit Picks was completely sold out of it. And Knit Picks has been sold out of it for well over 45 days. They were actually supposed to restock it yesterday on January 6th, but they didn't. It's okay, because the yarn that I'm using for this sweater that I need to purchase, they actually have it on sale, 20% off all month. So I'm telling you, the second I see it's in stock, I'm buying the 3 hanks I need, because I need it. I have enough of the accent color. I just need more of the body color. The body color is Woodland Yarns. This is an Aspen Heather. It's like a tan with a little hint of gray undertones. It's like really, really pretty. And I thought it would pair really well with this. This is Woodland Tweed yarn, and this is in Woodpecker Heather. I think this red tweed color is so pretty. And my ideas for this sweater is so like I can continue talking about this forever, but I will not because I am filming a project / test knit vlog video for this to go up on YouTube. So that'll be a whole separate thing. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. I'll also link the pattern for the barn raglan on Ravelry in the description in case you want to buy it or check it out or anything like that. I've got 2 delayed Christmas knit gifts that are currently still WIPs that I'm working on, but the porcelain sweater is taking up way more of my time, so I just need to take a day off of that and finish these. These are the infamous, iconic sailor slippers by Annie Sews. I'm making this for my boyfriend. The color green, that is dark moss, and then the red color is crimson red. And then for his soul color, I got toffee because all the gray and the black were sold out at the time. So I just made do with what I had. It looks so Christmassy. And yeah, I use red and green because red and green are actually his favorite colors. And ironically, Christmas time. So it would have been a perfect Christmas gift if I would have finished it on time. I'm also filming a video about this as well. So there'll be a separate video coming out about that if you want to know more. I'm trying to go slow to not stab myself. Our next WIP is this sock. This is called the Winter Sock by Sandra C. I'm knitting this in Knit Picks Stroll fingering weight yarn as well. This color is called Dove Heather. And then this red color that I did as the accent is called Holly Berry. All in all, I love this to here. All of this part of the leg, I adore this part of the pattern. Not a fan of doing the heel of a sock this way, and it's not for me. I don't know why it's not. This is from my mom, by the way, if I haven't said it. I really hope she enjoys it. She actually picked the pattern and I chose the color. She told me she wanted white and burgundy. I chose the light gray and red instead. I thought that would be a really good compliment. I just feel like white socks would get too messy too quick. This is a little bit more subtle, so if she gets a little messy or there's a stain on it, it won't be as obvious as it would be with white. I don't have any 2.25 millimeter circulars to do this on. I feel like that would go a lot quicker. I only have these DPNs and it is such a drag. And this is only the first sock. I still have to do the other sock. I only have 3 acquisitions today. The main one being these. I'm not sure what they're called. I've heard some people call them wires and I've heard some people call them cords. So I'll just call them wires that you can use to put your stitches on hold. These things are truly amazing. I used it on my porcelain sweater, which is why I have them out right now. But you just slip it right on top of your needle because the inside of these are hollow. So it's a little tube. So you slip that on your needles and then you're able to move your stitches off the needles onto the wire. And once you get what you need on to the wire, you just take it off and then it sits on hold on these. And the way I tie them, so it's like if you have live stitches right here, I would just tie them like this. And so the stitches are still hanging here and then they won't just like slide right off because this is kind of knotted, if that makes sense. I think these are really, really great. They're easier to use than cables because then with the cables, you have to untwist the needle, twist on the connector, twist on the new cable, slide everything over, untwist the cable, do this. And it's just so much twisting and moving. And this, pop it on the needle, slide it off, pop it off the needle, tie it up, you're done. Like, it's so easy. So I really, really recommend these. My boyfriend and I have been doing a little bit of thrifting here lately, and I found this book at McKay's and I could not pass it up. It was $6. So I got this, the Big Book of Knitting. This is like the first or second page and it already gives you metric conversions or equivalents. So if you need to convert some kind of math, you have that right here. And it has a lot of other basic info that you would need to know. And I think it's just good to have a book on hand. I like the books that I've checked out from the library, but you can only keep those for so long. Whereas this book I get to keep forever because it's mine. Granted, with the library book, you can check it out more than once, but it's kind of nice having my own little book. And it can tell me all about the tools, different things I need to know, a lot of just terminology. There's even a section about the different kinds of yarns, what to look for, how they're made. And then you get like the basic techniques and so many other good things. And then cool stuff like this, like knit on facings, like little stuff like that. And I know all this can be found online on YouTube, but it's also nice to have a book. That's all I'm saying. And I think it'll be a really nice addition to my office in general. Something just to have, like I said, on hand whenever I want to read or learn something new. And I also got this from McKay's. This is A Passion for Color. If it wasn't obvious enough by the cover, this was definitely published back in the 90s. So it's going to be a lot of good things in here, I feel like. And plus, I really do like color, especially color work. That's really my favorite. So I was looking for something with maybe socks or sweaters, and I ended up stumbling across this book, which is about dyeing yarn. Eventually, I do want to dye my own yarn. It's not right now, or probably anytime here soon, but eventually I do want to get into it. And I think that this book is going to help me get to where I need to be. The cool part of this book is it's giving you natural color dye remedies. So you could use something like logwood, or you could use something like onions to get certain colors, and it's just so cool. And again, just shout out the patterns. The 90s were iconic. I am very happy with these two books that I've acquired. So many good things in them. Of course, I will share them and tell you about them as we go. This is Cricket. He loves to make his little appearance in most of the videos that I film, whether it's TikTok or for YouTube. So he says hi, everybody. Yeah, he's still in his Christmas sweater. He's a little guy, so he likes to wear his clothes around the house when it's cold. Ow. I hope you enjoyed their brief intermission. Now we're going to segue over to movie and show recommendations for the week. The first is going to be Homeland. It's an American espionage thriller kind of show. There's 8 seasons. Like, for something to take 8 seasons, you think, okay, clearly it's good. It started around like 2011 and it stopped in 2020. But lots of good seasons. The episodes are usually about 45 to sometimes an hour long, depending on the episode. So it's really good, something you can really sink your teeth into. It's about a CIA officer named Carrie, and she is bipolar. But the CIA doesn't know that she's bipolar, so she's trying to hide that. And it's like this whole thing. Without spoiling too much of the show, it's just a lot of like, you'll follow this one character and we'll know their secrets as a watcher. But then it's like, oh no, will the other characters find out their secrets and what they're hiding and what they have going on? And oh no, will they put 2 and 2 together? Again, espionage thriller, really good. It's on Netflix, by the way, so definitely check it out. Next is a movie that I literally just watched the other day when I was finishing the front panel of my porcelain sweater. It's called Official Secrets. That's also on Netflix. In my opinion, this has got to be 4 stars. This is a thriller war movie. When I say war, it's not like a bunch of guns and bombs and everything blowing up. It's not like a Saving Private Ryan kind of situation. This is more of like the lead up to a war kind of situation. Without giving too much info away, this is based on a true story of a British intelligence specialist who leaked an NSA memo about the US trying to enlist Britain into blackmailing UN members to vote a certain way to basically start a war. I'm not going to ruin it, but it's really, really good. I don't know the name of the actress, but she's in all of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. She was in this, and that was kind of the reason why I watched it. But it was really good, honestly, because you can kind of see her journey and like everything leading up to it, and then obviously the outcome of it. And like I said, it's a true story. So there is references to like the actual person that she's playing the role of. And I think that that's really nice. I love shows like that. Official Secrets is on Netflix. I don't know if I've said that or not. And so is this next one as well. The next movie I'm recommending is Eden. I think this movie is, to me, it gets 3 stars. I don't know why. There's something about the acting for me. But like the story itself is really good. And it's also based on a true story. To sum it up, it's about a group of Europeans who go and try to settle on an uninhabited Galapagos island. And it gets pretty messy pretty quickly. So yeah, I would definitely check that out if you're into it. It's about 2-ish hours long, I believe. And the last recommendation is also on Netflix. This one is Harlan Coben's, I believe I said that right, Runaway. This also recently got released on Netflix. This is a thriller mystery limited series. It's really, really good. It's a story of a father trying to find his missing daughter, and in the process of searching for her, he uncovers a web of murders and how they're connected to him and his family, and then a bunch of secrets, obviously, and then a bunch of cult things. It's one of those shows where like they give us a scene or a situation, and then as the series progresses, as each episode goes, it gives us more and more context behind that scene or that situation. So we know a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And like, we can kind of conclude some things, but we're also like, well, how is it going to end? And how is this going to go? And it's like one of those. It's really good. I watched a few of the other 𝙺𝚗𝚒𝚝𝚝 series on Netflix as well. Missing You, I really like that one. And then the other one, I think it was Stay Close. That one was okay. It was okay. I'm one of those people, I'm not really a picky viewer or watcher. I feel like I give everything a fair chance, no matter if it's war crimes or romance or comedy or thriller or whatever. I try to give everything a fair chance. There's only a few things that I can recall that I've like started to watch and I just was like, yeah, no, like I'm not watching this. This is awful. And so if you're into thrillers, clearly that's the thing this week. There you go. 4 options, all from Netflix, if you have that subscription. To wrap up this first episode with a cute little bow, these are a few of my highlight patterns of the week. Yet, I'll link all of these patterns in the description box if you want to check them out. The first pattern I want to highlight is this gorgeous sweater. I think it's so pretty, and I know a lot of people have been getting into cables and textures. I feel like this is a subtle way to do that without doing too much. To me, this gives very chic, very elegant. I would definitely do it, especially that color she chose. So pretty. This is the name of the sweater, by the way. 𝙺𝚗𝚒𝚝𝚝 sweater, I believe. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. I don't want to mispronounce the creator's last name, but first name is Cheryl. I got this off of Ravelry. Very pretty. There's even a blue color she did this in. So pretty. I wear a lot of blue jeans and like leggings, so blue is probably not the color for me, but that brown golden color, that's definitely the one I would go for. So this sweater is worked from top down. The collar is done in the round, and then you go onto the yoke and you do your increases and short rows still in the round. And then when you get to your front and your back sections, they are done separately and they are done flat and then connected. Knitting flat isn't for me, but if you're somebody who can push through and you like this pattern, I think that this would be a really pretty sweater. This pattern is size inclusive. It does a bust all the way up to 78 inches. Obviously, if you want to have a more relaxed, positive ease, you would need to kind of go within your parameters, but the larger size does go up to 78 inches of a bust circumference. The next highlight pattern is going to be the plaid whisper socks. I think these are so freaking cute. The pattern creator is Anna. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name and I don't want to mess it up, but this is also on Ravelry. I think it is so cute. I love the color block situations. I love the reverse color. You know, the main color is the contrast color on the other one and vice versa. Like, I think that is so cute and I would love to do this. I think these are so cute. The only thing is the weight of yarn they use in the pattern. I don't care for Aran weight. It's just not for me, you know, like just a personal thing. But if somebody else likes it, they should totally make it. And if I am remembering correctly, the pattern is free. So I just love green and tan. Those are like my 2 colors. I'm surprised I didn't do my test knit in green and tan. I went kind of crazy with the red, but I really like the red. But these socks are very cute. I may try to do something similar in a DK or fingering weight. Not sure how well it's going to turn out, but that's definitely an option for me. And the very last pattern, which is also an accessory, as all this sunlight comes out as I'm ending the video. I know a lot of people have been all about the Kitten Catch Mittens by Florence Miller, which is so cute. But hear me out. Are these not just as cute? I don't know. These are called the Squirrel and Acorn Mittens, and I think they are so adorable. I would love these. Granted, it doesn't get that cold here in Georgia, which is like, but I just think these are so cute. Like, I would love to have a pair of these. I think the little squirrels are really what I like the most, but I feel like these just need a shout out, you know, like somebody needs to shine the spotlight on them too. And it's also a free pattern. So yeah, I mean, that's a really cute free pattern. This has been so much fun filming. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully this isn't too long. This is the first video, so it is, you know, like I did a lot of housekeeping things, a little of this, little of that, but that won't be the case every time. from here on, it'll be like what I actually finish in current time, starting off this wonderful new year in this wonderful new series. I hope you guys really enjoy the video. If you have any questions or any comments or recommendations, anything like that, definitely leave it in the comments below. I would love for us to have little conversations and discussions about different things, knitting related, yarn related, or just craft in general related. It's just going to be a fun little space for you to come and hang out. And also, I love watching people or watching knitting podcasts when I'm knitting myself. It's like a little guilty pleasure of mine. I wanted to do my little part to contribute on that in case somebody was working on a project and just wanted something in the background or looking for some inspiration or anything like that. I want this podcast to do that for you. And so it's a little comfort place you can come to and enjoy each week and have a good time. I look forward to chatting with you next week about goals and New Year's resolutions, any big plans that we have for ourselves for the year, and potential new places to purchase yarn. I hope you've had a great time crafting with me, even though I haven't really knit much of my sweater halfway through this video. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next week.